Hi, this is Sabine Matharu, and this is the Reach for Greatness TV episode 16. And today we are doing a live visibility summit. So I'm super excited to have three amazing guests with me today. I'm going to introduce those lovely guests in a minute. So let me just introduce myself for those who don't know me yet. I'm Sabine Matharu. I'm a purpose and business growth strategist for women, and I'm the founder of Reach for Greatness, the TV, of course, and the Greatness Club, and the Business Accelerator Mastermind. I help women monetize their passion and turn them into a thriving business with ease and joy. And as part of a 10 days to massive visibility with ease campaign, I am running this fabulous Visibility Summit today, and I have got three fabulous experts coming on the show today. So let me just check in if I'm live and the technology is working, and then we can get started. So if you are joining live, please just say hello and let me know who you are and what you do as well. If you've got any questions, or if you are also on a replay, please type #replay and make sure you just ask your questions, because that's what the experts are there for. And we'll come back and also answer anything that you might have that's coming up in the process. So let me just check that we're live. Yes, it seems we're live and that you can hear me. So fab. Seems we're live. That's it. Good. We're live and we are ready. So let's get started. I just want to start off with a little bit of introduction in terms of what we're going to be doing today. Who are the guests? What sort of things can you expect in terms of in terms of what you can learn? So first and foremost, we're going to talk to Leela Bassi, who is an international keynote speaker. Now, Leela actually knows how to conduct herself on stage. She's a very inspiring personality. She actually went on an expedition in the Arctic, and she's just fabulous. So we're not only going to talk about her story, and I'm sure she's got an amazing story to tell, but we also want to hear from her in terms of what does it take to become and to be a keynote speaker. How does she get speaking engagements? Of course, we're talking about visibility in business, and of course we want to know about Leela and what she does and how she can actually serve her customers. Then, so that Leela's going to come on first at 1 o'clock. At 1:30, I'm going to have the amazing Melanie Falvey, who is going to talk about how to sell with videos. Now, Melanie knows everything about videos, how to make videos so that they're very impactful, how to use them on social media, and the do's and the don'ts. So don't miss that slot. She's going to come on at 1:30. And last but not least, I've invited the fabulous Ruby McGuire. Ruby is an expert when it comes to podcasting. She's done so many podcasts, like over 100 episodes on iTunes. So we're going to talk all about podcasting, and of course Ruby will tell you what she does and who she is and what sort of clients she serves. But mainly we want to know how these ladies are becoming so super visible with the different platforms that they're using as well. And of course, I'm doing the Reach for Greatness TV. The TV is one of my major vehicles when it comes to being visible, and I've really enjoyed doing this. This is episode 16. I've already been interviewing for about 6-7 months now, over 100 women, which has been just fabulous. And out of that, it's been quite interesting, because some of these women were asking me, so how can we work with you, because we really love your energy, we really love what you do. What are things do you do? Of course, me personally, I'm a business strategist. Of course, I love networking. I love bringing women together. I love, sharing or helping get them visible. But me directly, I am actually focusing on entrepreneurship. business startup and growth in my own programs. So I love all kinds of geeky stuff, all kinds of technical things. So, but most importantly, I love providing short trainings, right? So that people, so women actually, these are my target market, women actually can implement in small bite-sized chunks, because I know how it feels when you're overwhelmed, when there's so much information coming towards your way, and when you think you need to implement everything under the sun to actually make your business work. And this is the reason why I've actually created the Greatness Club, because inside the Greatness Club, this is exactly what we do. It's kind of like a one-stop shop where you will find topics on business, but also self-development, because I think those two go hand in glove. So it's no good just to implement strategies, but then forget about connecting with yourself, with your magic, and forgetting about you as a person, what you want to do. And this is actually something that I had to learn as well, because before starting, well, I guess I had reached greatness for a while now, but before this year, like last year, I was really struggling in my business. I was just doing, and I got so super overwhelmed. And I kind of lost sight with regards to why I was doing this and how I wanted to run my business and who I wanted to work with. So in a short space of time, I reconnected with myself, connected with my energies. And of course, I'm a very big believer in strategy as well. But if you connect energies in your magic and then go and do what, like with an aligned sort of action, let's say, that's in an aligned way with who you want to be and how you want to be in your business, that really turned things around for me. And within 90 days, I was able to not only reach out to like 150, 200 women, but I got about 100 in total, 100 new clients. So I had 60 women joining the Greatness Club within 2 months. I was fully booked with one-to-one clients, so that a couple of months ago I actually started my own mastermind, so I can actually serve more women in a group. And that's the Business Accelerator Mastermind. And now I'm also co-authoring books, so I'm actually hosting 4 books to be written right now, and we're going to launch the first one after Christmas. So really, I'm being so super blessed. I'm super excited how this year has sort of panned out for me as well. Now, because it's Black Friday, I do have an invitation here. If you would like to, come and have a look at the Greatness Club and what we do. We also do speed networking inside the club, which is once a month. It's literally jumping on a Zoom call and getting to know each other, because I really believe in making personal connections as well, so everyone kind of knows everyone. And yeah, we're just really growing as a fabulous family. Every single month there is a training bundle that goes into the club, which is consisting of a live workshop, so training workshop. So last month we were talking about branding. This month we're talking about visibility. So I actually put together all kinds of different platforms with regards to how you can be visible, where you can be visible, and what the strategies are. And I also produced a workbook as well as a bonus tool, which is the Visibility Planner. So literally it gives you all the tools that you need, not only to, it's not just about watching videos, it's about actually creating the transformation and implementing in your business. My background really is project manager by trade. I used to be a management consultant. I used to train people in leadership and coaching and implement processes. So this is where I'm coming from in terms of business, to make sure that I provide these tools for my ladies in the Greatness Club, that it's not just about watching a video, learning about this beautiful strategy, but it's all about implementation. And that's the tools that are available. So we usually have the live training workshop in week 1. In week 2, we have the workbook coming out as well, so that you actually do the work. In week 3, we usually have a guest expert with a Q&A, and then we make sure we implement. You can bring your stuff to the table, ask questions, get feedback. We also do Facebook or social media and website reviews in the club, which is super, super useful and super, super valuable as well, so that you actually get real feedback with regards to what you are creating. Because, you know, sometimes when you get into some programs, they just give you a whole load of videos, but they don't give you any support or any feedback with regards to what you're putting out there, how you can tweak it, how you can make it better. And this is what you're going to get in the Greatness Club. And you know what? It's super, super, it's like a no-brainer, because it's only £37 a month right now. But it's, because it is Black Friday deal, you can get in with a 14-day free trial. Okay, come in, have a look. Otherwise, it's literally a no-brainer. Even a website review, tweaks on your website or social media, you know, if you pay someone, that's going to cost you hundreds and hundreds of pounds if you want that sort of level of support. So hop in, 14-day free trial. Let's get to know each other. As I said, monthly, we also have a speed networking event. I mean, how often do you go networking? How much does that cost you, right? If you have to pay for a lunch or a breakfast, that's going to cost you 30, 40 pounds straight away. And then you might not even know who's going to turn up. Are they going to be my target audience? But I actually make sure that I bring always new people to the table. Of course, there's women from the Greatness Club networking with us as well. Usually it's about 20 of us, and we've already made fantastic connections. There's been, you know, clients already found, collaborations already in the making. So it is really, really beautiful space to, you know, come and sort of, and grow your business together with us, okay? So that's me, and that's the offer for the Greatness Club. And without further ado, I'm going to bring in the fantastic, fabulous Leela, who is waiting to be unleashed. And Melanie's here as well. She agrees the network events are great. Yes, I absolutely enjoy that as well. Hi, Nazreen. Leela, right, I'm going to get you in. Let's get Leela in. Leela.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello, my love.
Yeah.
Have you got your video on?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. Yes. Hello, everyone. Hi.
Hi, Leela. Welcome, welcome. I'm super, super excited to have you. I've been on your website last night, and you know what? Tears were rolling down my cheek. It was just so moving to see the video, and I know you're going to share all about your expedition and it was a life-changing event for you as well. And of course, I'm just going to do a short introduction so that the audience knows who you are, and then we're going to share, of course, where people can find you, and also watch that amazing video. So literally, Leela has actually survived an Arctic expedition, and her whole outlook on life actually completely changed. And from that moment on, her mindset was transformed. She overcame several of her fears and then began to believe in herself all over again. And that's when she actually left corporate career in order to fulfill her vision of inspiring and empowering others. And this soul-searching journey has led her to develop her own motivational speaking career, which is so fabulous. And I know you've been sort of traveling all over the place, and quite recently to Dubai, I hear, that this has now become your new career. And Leela strongly believes that we're all unstoppable, and if we set our mind to it, we can achieve anything in life. And Leela, I totally echo you with that as well. And I think we kind of got quite similar sort of experiences, apart from the fact I haven't been to the Arctic, but I actually left corporate world for exactly that sort of reason, because I just became aware of there is much more to life. So Leela, over to you. Maybe you want to add a few words to this, and of course we can dive into, you know, what was your turning point, and tell us a bit more about that experience that you had.
Yeah, sure. First of all, thank you very much for having me, Sabine. I really appreciate that, and I'm so excited about speaking to you all about my experience and where it led me today. So I went to the Arctic back 3.5 years ago now as part of a gender diversity journey. What happened is 2 women actually approached my old company to propose a women-only expedition to the Arctic Circle. which was mainly in order to raise the gender diversity, but also the unconscious bias. And what I mean by that is that there are a lot of people out there who don't really believe in us women, and that we can actually get things done, such as, you know, if you want to be an entrepreneur and open your own company, if you want to go to the Arctic, the Antarctic, wherever you like, and, you know, if it's your thing, then great, you know, that was our opportunity. It was mainly for us also to show that we could also become the hero of our own story. So such as, if you want to be a CEO or a director or anything like this, you can do that. You have the power to do that. And so this trip was actually offered to the whole company. 89 women actually applied, and after a lot of selections, etc., 12 of us remained. Wow. And I've got to say that the Arctic was not really a place that I have chosen to go to, because it's very cold. Yeah. As you can imagine, and I really don't like the cold. I'm cold in a room where it's 20 degrees. I've always got a jacket on or a jumper on, as you can see today.
Yes, I was a bit chilly as well, actually. Yeah. It's got to be above 0, isn't it? But you had like minus.
Yeah, so we were actually trained to go to really below 0. So we were hoping about minus 20 degrees or so, but then it got down to minus 43 degrees.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, it was pretty tough out there. And I think what I learned while I was out there, and I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted to be here today as well, to share this story, is mainly because the Arctic got us to really think twice about, you know, not only how physical you need to be, because we had a lot of training. We went on trained in industrial freezers just to get accustomed to the cold. Several times. We trained days and nights. We pulled tires all over Berkshire in order to, you know, reinforce those inner core muscles that we had inside us. But it's mainly the mental side of things. So although there were psychologists with us, we worked on a lot of techniques and strategies, and we were given tools. We did the NLP. We had a lot of things, you know, just up to our hand, basically, being able to do it. But when you are actually in the Arctic, you are on your own. Although you are with a team, inside your head, you are on your own, and you are left with your own limiting belief that you don't really realize that you have them until you are in the process of trying to achieve something that you don't believe you're going to achieve it because of the extreme conditions out there. And so our aim was to actually reach the Arctic Circle, which was a 100 kilometers cross-country skiing traverse.
Wow. Now, how long did it take you?
Took us, so we were out there for 18 days, but the trip itself, we were planning to do it in 10 days. In the end, it got so cold, we actually managed to do it in 9 days in the end, because it was just like tremendous. What we had to do was to sleep on ice every night. So we were doing about 10K each day. And then we had to unpack the sledge that we were actually pulling behind us, and which was very heavy because there was all the materials in there, all of our sleeping bags, everything. It was quite heavy in the end. Well, by the end of it, I guess, you know, I think every day you get used to it, but by the end of it, you just like, you know, can I actually do this? And I think this really just like gives you the resilience to actually keep going, because the Arctic Circle was so close at one stage. You know, we felt it was close because we could actually see it. But these 100 kilometers in ski, what should have been in skiing mode, did not happen because the wind and the wind chill was so strong that we couldn't actually see anywhere we were going. So we had to walk for that 100K. And to say, 100K, in 9 days is not a lot. But I think because of the conditions out there, it actually really put us in a situation where we didn't really believe in our mind if we were going to be able to do it. And that's where, now when I came back from the Arctic, I really realized that what I wanted to do was to be able to deliver a message to others. And so that's why I became actually a motivational speaker and also a workshop facilitator. And if that's all right with you, Sabine, I just would like to say a few words about it.
Yes.
So basically, when I came back from the Arctic, it really taught me a really big lesson, because while I was out there, I realized that I had a lot of limiting belief. And what I mean by limiting belief, they are those beliefs that are preventing you from achieving your goal anywhere or anytime you want to do something. So if you are there, you believe you're starting your own business and you believe that you cannot actually be successful because you are scared of this, or you are scared of not finding the client, or etc., then you need to think of your limiting belief, because these are limiting beliefs. They are preventing you from achieving your best potential, to be the best version of yourself. And that's exactly what happened to me while I was out there. Although I really wanted to show to everybody, and especially to myself, that I could reach my goal, there were some stage where I just really didn't think I could do it, because I had the self-sabotaging inner thoughts that kept coming into my mind and saying, well, anyway, you can't do this, it's too hard, there's the wind, there's that. And in life, we go through so many of those thoughts all the time, constantly we got this thought, oh, can I actually do this, or I don't think I can actually achieve this today because this and that. And we give ourselves some excuses every day, and sometimes there might be fair reasons that we can't manage to do something, but other times we really need to try to look at ourselves and see, why is it that we believe that we can't actually achieve these things in life? And so therefore, when I came back from the Arctic, I decided that I really wanted to go and preach what I had learned out there. And when I actually started doing this, I realized that my whole life, well before this expedition, I already had a lot of resilience within me from my background story and what had happened to me beforehand. And we all have a background story before an expedition or after an expedition. Everybody has their own expedition in their own head. And it doesn't mean that you have to go to the Arctic to have an expedition. You can have your own private expedition in your own mind. It's about overcoming your fears. It's about doing things that you are scared of doing. It's about getting up and put your hand up and say, I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you say. It's about really digging deep inside yourself to really pull yourself out and tell yourself that you can do it. And so therefore, I decided to become a motivational speaker, because I had all of this self-limiting belief that I had managed to conquer, and also the side of the resilience. And now what I do is I go and speak on stage. I go to corporate, I go to schools, I go to events. I was again at an event on Monday night at a panel event on perseverance. I've just been speaking this year in several places. As you just mentioned earlier, I was in Dubai last month. I also deliver in several languages, because as you can hear, I'm French, but I also speak Italian as well. So I went on deliver also in Milan in Italian, and all of these things is not about me. It's about the others. It's about discovering in themselves what is the gap between where they are and where they want to be. It's about trying to identify what the needs are to be able to reach their goals, basically. Yeah, so it made me, the Arctic has really helped me to become a much stronger, a much more confident person, to really unleash the power that I wasn't really aware that I had within me. And so when I go on stage, that's what I talk to people about. I help them, I give them tools and strategies that can really help them to actually go out there and not just to do things temporarily, because when a motivational speaker comes on stage, some people feel that it just lasts a little bit, it's just there for a few days where you feel all pumped up and yes, I can do this, yes, I'm going to do this, and then after a few weeks it's all gone back down to normal. So therefore I also do follow-up workshop after that, or just workshop. I also do coaching, the one-to-one coaching as well, to help people to reach their goals, basically. So do you want me to talk a bit about how I got to get these gigs as well? I think that might be...
Yes, before we do that, I'd just like to dive in a little bit more in terms of your journey in the Arctic, and whilst you were, tracking, and whilst you were kind of maybe telling yourself, can I really do this? What kept you going? I mean, was it like, oh my gosh, I can't let the team down? And I wonder, how did the other women feel as well, and what conversations went on in the evenings when you camped, and was there any doubt, or were some of the others freaking out, and how did you all get through this?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. Thank you for asking that. It was tough for every single one of us, and I think even as a team, if some of us did not actually talk about it out loud, how scared they were. I certainly was scared. How scared they were of polar bears. There were polar bears there. Thankfully, we did not actually get to see any, but they were out there in the wilderness. So there was always something you were on the lookout for. We were very cold, and we were constantly hungry. So it was really important that we keep going with the food, the drinking, etc. But the trip was the cold was so strong that even to try to open up a bottle, the lid was frozen, for instance. So I remember one day bursting out crying because I was thirsty and I couldn't actually open my bottle. And I think when you think about it, they are the sort of things that you do on an everyday basis. No one is going to cry here, being sitting at work because they can't open a bottle of water. But deep down, we had so many little issues like this, just going to the toilets, being quick enough, to get dressed again, not to catch any frostbite, and that sort of thing. Wow. And yes, indeed, in the evening, there were a lot of conversation going on. But because we were prepared mentally as well as physically, together as a team, we did it because we were strong enough mentally. Even if we had those doubts, even if we had an opportunity to get out there, to get out of that situation, I think we were really prepared to actually just continue, because as a team, we didn't want to let the other ones down. Already, unfortunately, my tan body actually got on the first, I think it was on the first day we arrived there, she dislocated her ankle and she had to be rescued. And so what did that mean for the rest of us? We are nothing. That's what it meant to us. We are a team, but really deep down, anything can happen to us at any time. And we were really, really down because this member actually left us, because she was hoping to come back later on. We didn't really think it was dislocated. We just thought, it's going to be fine. She's going to come back. She's going to be with us. And it really wasn't. It wasn't fine, and she didn't come back. And so there we were, 11 of us now. And I think, if I remember really well, all of these inner thoughts that kept coming in every day, we were able to express it between, we were sharing different tents. So by tent, there were always 4 people by tent, but to sleep, we were 2 people to sleep by tent. In my tent, we were 3 people because my tent body dislocated her ankle, so I went with another 2. And when, to answer your question, when we were just, us together, we actually, yes, of course, there were some moments where we said, wow, how are we going to do this? Are we strong enough to do this? And of course, there are always those self-doubt. And also we were always, hoping that the weather was going to get better day after day, because we were thinking we didn't want to turn back. We didn't want to disappoint our families, our friends, ourselves. It was really important for us to believe that we could actually go above and beyond the odds, above and beyond those extreme conditions that kept us frozen every day. No matter what you were doing, you were constantly cold. I mean, I remember I caught frostbite on these 2 fingers here, and it got actually to a point where it got so bad that the guide said, you need to really watch out, because you could lose your fingers. And there was my chance of getting out. There was that chance, right? Okay, so what do I do? Do I really want to carry on? There was another 5 days. Do I really want to carry on doing this? Or should I just should I just go back somewhere hot and cozy, where, continue in the rough mist of life where all of the achievers are? Or do I want to, go back home and be with my family and my children that I miss so badly, because we didn't have any connection. There was no connection. There was no phone. There was nothing out there. So we were pretty much on our own. And that's what really kept us going, was the team, the passion of the team together, the unity of the team.
Wow. This is so captivating, and it's just unbelievable what you went through, and I can't even imagine minus 40, 42 degrees, and these little things that you don't really think about, and I guess you can start to appreciate life once you're kind of back, and it's like you flashing back what we actually have, and what could be, right? And you made it. I saw you walking hand in hand, all of you. I think it was like probably the last day was probably the best one, isn't it, where you were walking through the finish line.
Absolutely. I mean, walking through the finish line was something that I had visualized. It is one of the strategy that I also gave actually out, is about visualizing your end goal as being a success, basically. And when it was really hard out there, when we were in moments when you're on your own in your own mind, and also you're on your own in your own mind because the condition was so extreme that you couldn't really talk to each other, because we all had our buff and we were all covered from head to toes, and so you couldn't understand each other, and you had to speak like almost by sign language, because if you were to shout, the wind was so strong that it was covering actually what you were saying. So it was really a point where you were really on your own. So you had all of that time to think, but it was also a moment where you could think of positive things and to reflect on the rest of your life, and also to visualize about what we wanted to happen. And for me, I could visualize was for us to cross that finish line hand in hand, and to see, finally that achievement after so many days of strive and perseverance and basically just to get there and to really believe that we could actually do it.
Yeah, that's astonishing, most incredible. Thank you so much for sharing the story, and I think this just shows how powerful stories actually are, and how you can actually demonstrate through stories and through experiences your point that your message that you're trying to teach. And I think this is this will actually stick with people.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So yes, talk to us now a little bit about how do you get your speaking gigs and how did you get started? And if anyone wants to, obviously start their business and doing, opting into, doing speaking engagements on stage, what do you do? How you go about it, and how do you find those? And then how do you then on the back end get business from it as well?
Yeah, sure. So basically, so as I said, when I came back from the Arctic, my main goal was to set up my business, and so I did. I decided to go out there in the big wide world and to go on my own, basically, because that's what it is. I am self-employed, and the first thing I started to do was to go to try to connect with networks and anybody, really, even put messages on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and just say, I am a speaker, I'm ready to go on speak about resilience and limiting belief for free. To anybody who would accept to have me on their stage, basically. And of course, when you do that, when you first start, it's always a good idea to have maybe, a part-time job or to have a bit of money on the side, because when you actually do that, you need to cover all of your expenses. And that's one of the things, that at the very beginning was quite hard, because I basically had to go, even if it's just to go to London, you still have your train, you have your food while you're out there, So there are some people, and there are questions that you must ask when you get there, or when you are still in contact with a person. Just ensure that you ask, can your expenses to be covered? I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, okay? They're going to have you there for free. They're going to take your material. They're going to take your ideas. Obviously, they can't take your story, and nobody can speak the same way that you speak, okay? You are who you are unique. Okay? So don't worry about that. But what I would really recommend is that when you reach the person you're speaking with, just ask if you could have your expenses covered. And what you could also do is, when you speak out there, try to also maybe have a bit of networking by the end of it, because people will remember you. They will remember the impact of your story. And your story is not just about a trip to the Arctic. It's not a story about going on top of Mount Kilimanjaro. It's about, it can be anything. It is your own unique story. You can also go out there as, you set up your business and you try to sell your product, and it's about trying to get all of these clients. So always have your business card ready. Maybe offer them a 30 minutes free call about what you want to achieve with them, and from there you can actually also give them an opportunity for them to see exactly who you are and how trustworthy you are. So that's some of the bits that you can actually do. When you've been doing that quite a good few times, then start seeing, even, so like I'm talking about meeting up. I'm talking about networking event, in the, even at lunchtime, contact some corporate, contact some friends if you have friends or family, or people that I don't really believe in the friend or family things, actually, to be honest, because I think, you're better off by trying to go and find your own clients. Also because it really makes you trustworthy, and people, would really believe who you truly are, basically. So
the main thing is, like, you need to go out there. You need to put yourself out there. That's the main message that I'm getting. By the way, thank you so much, Gia. She's sending so many love hearts, and you can't see that because you're not on Facebook. And we've got amazing, there's some amazing women here. That Ruby, she said that she's not going to moan about the cold again. A question from Gia. Leela, do you suggest that I start doing speaking gigs for free to start with, or do you get paid from the start? I think kind of touched on that. And should the story I tell directly relate to my business?
So
relate. Yes, relate, not elate. Yeah. Relate, yeah.
Yeah. So what was the second question? I didn't hear.
Yeah. So whether the story should directly relate to her business.
It doesn't have to, but I really believe deep down that if you can link your story to your business, it will make a bigger impact, and also it will certainly show that you are humble and how you all started. So people love story. Okay, so people love listening to story because that's what stick. That's what stick to people. If you go out there and you start talking about your business, within the first 30 seconds, some of the people are going to switch off because they're going to think, oh my gosh, here we go again about this, about that. Mm-hmm. Instead, if you start talking about your story, that's really where it sticks with people. And when people say, oh, that's interesting, now I want to know more about you. And that's when you link your business to it.
Yeah.
I hope that answers the questions.
Absolutely. Because you can tell your story, and then like my story is like leaving the corporate and wanting, not fitting into the box anymore, and how I felt and stuff like this, and then I can then relate back and say, this is why I started my own business, and then I felt overwhelmed and all that, and then this is why I'm now helping other women not to feel overwhelmed and how I teach them to do their business without the overwhelm and step by step and stuff like this, right? So I think this is how you kind of link across.
That's right. Yeah. And then the other thing I would also say is, so when you have done all of this, so like I would say you're good, 15, 20 times. I mean, if by all means, if you can get some gig paid, then by all means, please, take them. If people are willing to pay you straight away as soon as you go, then brilliant, But I would say, try to have a bit of practice first, even with some friends, and just have an audience and just try to practice it first. If you have the chance to get paid straight away, then fabulous. And just one more thing that I want to mention here as well is for the speaking gig, another way to get them as well is that if you register with agencies, you can obviously have some speaking gigs. So what will happen is you will contact them, you will send them your bio. It's important that you have a biography. It's important that you have maybe a show reel. It's important that you have credential, basically, that shows that you are actually a speaker out there, and what do you speak about. And by doing this, obviously, you will send it to those agencies. So you set a fee. I'm just going to give you a random figure, just like this. Let's say, I don't know, you set a fee of £1,000, let's say, and you say, oh, I get paid £1,000 to do a speech, let's say. And on top of that, they will add their own fees on top of it. And this got nothing to do with you. It doesn't remove any money from you or anything at all. It's just that, that's their own fee for providing you with the corporate where you will be speaking at. And that's another way also of doing it, especially because speaking is not always something that people are looking the whole year long. There are certain period of time when they're really looking for speakers on certain subjects, so like sales, account management, all of these meetings and conferences that are going on during the year. So it could be in January, February, you could be really busy, during that time, on International Women's Day, towards the end of the year. And then what happened in between? Okay, so that's when you need to start building up your business and then have a bit more of an opportunity to speak.
Exactly. And I think in order to get a show reel, where basically a show reel is like a little video of me speaking on stage. And if you do go and get some speaking gigs in the beginning and do this for free, then obviously this is probably something that you should be negotiating with the event organizer to say, look, I'd like to get a testimonial, some pictures, and a show reel that I can use to promote my business.
Absolutely. Yes, definitely. That's actually what I did the first time I went on Speak for Free. And then afterwards, once you start getting some money in, you can also just go on, just have it remade or, just edit it, etc., and just put anything you want in there.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Leela. We are out of time now, but I'd like to just share your website with the audience as well, so that they can go and watch that video when you went to the Arctic, and connect with you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, and thank you for having me. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much. It is leelabassi.com. I just put it in the chat box as well. So any more? Yes, great tips. Thank you, Leela. Gia says as well. So it was fabulous. Thanks so much. Really appreciate that you came.
Thank you. Thank you. Take care, everyone.
Take care. Bye. Okay, so this was Leela Bassi, and the next guest is already waiting and ready to rock and roll. It's going to be the amazing Melanie Falvey, who's going to talk to us about creating videos that sell. So let me get Melanie in. Melanie's in the house.
Hi.
Hello, lovely.
Let me just fix this. Okay.
Yes.
There I am. Hello.
Hi. So Melanie is the creator of the Video That Sells system, a complete framework that helps businesses grow from 0 to 6 figures by using the power of video. And her mission is to help business owners turn their viewers into clients. And I think this is such a relevant topic, because video is, you know, obviously so super important nowadays. And I do know that a lot of people kind of shying away from doing videos, and I think we're just gonna unveil some of the myths and share some tips how we can do that, right?
Yes, exactly. Yes. So first of all, I'm really excited to be here, and my goodness, Leela's story was so inspiring. And for 3 weeks, we've had our boiler.
Yes.
It needed to be fixed, and they couldn't find the parts. And I was complaining. Never again.
yeah, I think, I guess we had that as well. When it gets to like 15, 16 degrees in the house, it's like, oh my gosh, I've got 18 degrees at the moment. I'm not sure what's wrong. So I had to get a jacket, and I'll probably put the radiators up a bit because the temperature has dropped. But yeah, we're still above 0, so still not too bad.
Exactly. Yeah, it just puts things into perspective. Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, Leela, for example, she's got a video on her website, and that immediately has drawn me in. And obviously, she's telling the story, and I think that is very different than having something written on a blog. And I know probably people want to consume information in different ways as well. So video, I think it's definitely right on top there. And of course, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I don't have any video editing skills, and how can I get started? What do I need to do, right? And I think that's probably something that the audience will think as well, in terms of how do we get started without having the knowledge, and how can we actually take that step by step. So just share what your thoughts are, share what you do in your business, and how can others get similar results.
Yeah, so what I like to start with saying that everybody can become comfortable and confident on video. Absolutely everybody. I know there's people out there who say, if to be on video, stick to written content. Don't do that, because today you cannot run a business and make it grow without using the power of video. I mean, you need to be living in the times we're living. You know, you can't just pretend to grow your business by using techniques and tools that were used in the past. You really need to make this work. And here's the thing, I am my best testimonial, because I was absolutely petrified of video, absolutely petrified. Yeah. I mean, at the beginning of my business, and my business is related to video. I mean, I built a whole business around my biggest fear. I mean, come on, who does that? So I knew I had to
overcoming limiting beliefs, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just jump right in. And until I had a system that really gave me the tools from inside out, because there's no good trying to do video and starting like, I'm going to be live streaming 5 days a week and just hitting that go live button, it's just not going to work. Because if you're not, the thing is, some people are petrified, as I was, and then other people are okay on camera, they're okay on video, but visibility is very scary because it brings up lots of fears that we didn't even think we had, because we're putting ourselves out there in a very big way. So it does have that thing about bringing up lots of fears. But when you have the right mindset tools in place, when you are able to build a strong video muscle, as I call it, you know that situations are going to crop up. Your internet is going to be wonky one day. You're going to have a headache. The dog is going to be barking. Whatever it is, you will find an excuse when you're not ready to do video. But when you have all the right tools in place, those situations will happen, but you will go and do your videos. So that's the thing. First of all, everybody can become confident and comfortable on video. I warranty. You just need to have all the right elements in place. And I always start my work with the mindset. The mindset is the foundations of everything. Mm-hmm. You would never build a house without strong foundations. You cannot expect to have to grow your business through video if you don't have the right video muscle in place. It's all about taking it step by step and building a strong muscle progressively. You know, I don't believe in conquering your fears, going all in like crazy, like do 30 days in a row, live stream 30 days in a row. That's not going to work. It really is not going to work. That only works for people who are not scared of video, and they just need to create a habit. And also, you don't have to do that. You know, there's this misconception that in order for you to grow your business by using the power of video, you need to be live streaming your life away. It's not about that. It's about mapping out a really solid video strategy that has a consistency plan within it that's going to work for you, within your lifestyle, within your just your values. Who wants to be live streaming all day long? Nobody. Well, maybe some people. But, you know, there's other things to do. You can, you know, you can spend time with the family, you can work out, you can go out for a walk, whatever it is. There is a way of becoming very consistent on video, but not having to be a slave to video. It's very different. And that's also my approach to video. You know, I'm trying to make things easy for people. You know, as entrepreneurs, business owners, we have a load of things to do. You don't need video to be another burden. Video should be able to release some of the work. And because of the power it has, because it's multi-layered, so people get in one go, they get what you're everything in one go. So it can really save up time. You don't have to write as many posts, for instance. So it's a great tool if you use it right, but it shouldn't be a burden. It's like the opposite.
What do you suggest someone starts with Facebook Lives? Once a week, or would you say just?
Okay, so everybody needs to think of their own consistency plan. I don't believe in, you know, cookie cutter solutions. I don't believe in generic solutions. I think that everybody is different and you need to make it work for you. So if right now you can't see yourself for whatever reason it is, because you don't feel like it, you still don't have the habit, that video muscle is still not built, or you just don't have the time, start small. It's okay. I mean, if you just create one video a month, it's better than no videos. And then build up on it. Then you can do one video a week, then maybe 3 days a week. It's all about building up. And also, don't think that every video you post has to be a live stream. That's another misconception. You can, you know, play around, make it, make an interesting mix, you know, post pre-recorded videos, repurpose videos you've already done, edit, and if you don't want to edit, you don't even have to edit, okay? But just take short pieces here and there and create pre-recorded and live streams so that you have plenty of videos and plenty of material to create this illusion of consistency so that people think you're always on video when it's really not that. It's about even batch create your videos and use one day a month.
Sorry, Gia says that the sound is very quiet and choppy. I just tried to put my microphone a bit closer to the speaker. Gia, can you just give us a thumbs up if it's better now? Ruby says she loves your backdrop, Melanie.
Oops. Sabine, I didn't get that. I didn't hear that. I somehow lost the sound there. All right, I'm reading Gia's message. Melanie, your sound is quiet and choppy. Oh, oops. Okay, okay. Let's see that. Is that better? Sabine, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Okay, I did now. Yes. I think yeah, my connection
must be
is a bit weak.
Yes. I can't hear either of you. Well, we're recording this.
Oh dear, Ruby can't hear us.
We're recording it anyway, so regardless, you can post the replay with the sound. Hopefully, I will do the trick. Keep cutting out. The recording might be better, yes. I'm not sure what's happening. I'm supposed to have the best broadband in the UK.
Yeah, mine's supposed to be okay, but apparently it's not today. Sorry about that.
So we will have the recording. I might, not sure what I can do about it. I've had to restart and then we lose everything. We have to restart Zoom, restart the live as well.
Oh dear, Sabine, I completely lost you.
Yes.
You froze for me.
Shall we restart to part 2? We'll restart and
Sabine, you're frozen. Yes. Like Elsa.
Oh no. We're back in. Can you hear me?
Oh yes, yes,
okay,
I can.
Fabulous. So where did we go? We left off. How do you create videos? And it doesn't always need to be live, and where you actually can chop up, you know, different sections and reuse that, and possibly you could let us know where we can post these videos. If it's not just Facebook, then where else can we, you know, get traffic and generate leads through our message?
Right, so here's the thing, you need to be on any platform where your ideal client is. You know, it's not about, and I know some marketing experts recommend being everywhere. To me, that's a mistake. I think you need to do one thing right and then, you know, tap into other things. So where is your ideal client? If they're on Facebook, just use Facebook, but what you can do is you can download those videos and you can write a blog post using the same topic and then insert, embed, whatever it is, your video and post it on your website. So that way you already have 2 places where you're using your videos.
So now, definitely put it on YouTube and then use the embed link.
Exactly. Exactly. YouTube is a great search engine tool. So even if you're not using YouTube natively, you can always repurpose. The only thing is that every platform is slightly different, and the audiences from every platform are slightly different. So any upload that you do on YouTube has to have a certain quality. Like Facebook live streams can be more relaxed within the image quality. Okay, sound and audio need to be good always, but image wise, sometimes Facebook Live, and especially if you're using some software out there, it can be a bit, it can sometimes not be as crisp as it should be. So be careful before you repurpose onto YouTube. Make sure you only upload videos that are really high quality, because if not, it's going to harm your brand and your positioning. But just, you can create one video and then repurpose it in as many places as you're using. But again, don't try to use everything. Just do one or two right, and that should be perfect at the beginning. And then when you're really comfortable there, then you can tap into a new audience on a new platform.
So how do you make sure that you kind of start off on the right foot in terms of creating videos that are where the quality is already quite good? Because I think we're more thinking about the sort of people who have some sort of strange backgrounds, and throughout the whole video you're thinking, what's that thing there on top of the head or whatever it is, and it's kind of distracting all the way through, and then you're not listening to what they got to say.
Absolutely, yes. Well, video, you need to take into account or think about three elements in particular, which are visuals. So it would be like image, light, and sound. So your sound needs to be good, because although we are scrolling down the feed and sometimes our devices are muted, some people do like to listen to the videos, then light needs to be good, because people need to make an emotional connection with you. And if they cannot see your face properly, one, they'll get annoyed and they won't be doing that connection. And if they don't connect emotionally with you, they won't trust you and they won't buy from you. So it's vital. Light is not about just this fancy thing that we want on video. There is a point to everything we do on video. It's really powerful if we do it right, and it's really harmful if we do it wrong, because it amplifies everything. And about visuals, they are key on video, because 90% of the information that enters the brain is visual. And your visuals on video are called backdrop. So a backdrop is whatever your viewers can see behind you when you're on screen. And it should really support and amplify your message. And if it's not doing that, it becomes distracting. And when visuals are distracting, people are immediately going to be focusing, as you were saying, what's that there? Or there's a sign there, what does it say? And you need to make it really easy for people, first to recognize your videos, and then to give them a good reason that makes them want to watch and stop and watch your videos. So your visuals always need to support your message. They need to show your brand, your personality. They need to tell your story. Props, visuals are a great storytelling tool. So it can do so much when used properly.
Would you recommend that having your logo or something somewhere? I mean, I can see that you've got like videos that sell behind you, but it's not like specifically branded in that way.
No, exactly. That's a message. That's a CTA, a call to action. And in this case, it's just working on memory retention. So here's the thing: a backdrop that doesn't use psychology is useless. Not useless, but it's not doing enough, because something that just looks pretty is not enough. It's what I call the bimbo effect. So something that looks really pretty, but it's, just empty. You need your backdrop to support your business and whatever you're doing at that time. So you need to think of what goals you have for your videos. That's why having a video strategy is key, because if not, you're just going around in circles and you're really not getting anywhere. So once you have your goal, you can work with your visuals so that they reinforce that outcome. And logos on video don't work on memory retention. If you want to use them as a watermark for your videos, then that's fine, but it's not going to do anything. People don't remember logos on video. Okay, logos have their place on, on your website, in print, but on video they just don't work. So using other elements that tell your story and that show your brand is much more effective, because what you want people to do is to be able to recognize your videos and to remember you, because the more they watch you, the more they will be familiar with your message, the more they will believe you, trust you, and then buy from you.
So you could have maybe some visuals that represent your what you do, or the kind of things that you can achieve for your client.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yes.
Understand.
That job should be inspirational and aspirational. It has to be inspirational because you need to inspire and attract your ideal client. And it's really easy to do that on video, because the minute they see it, because visuals are so powerful, they will decide whether they're going to watch it or not. And also aspirational, because you need to show the results you can get for your clients.
Mm-hmm.
People need to, like, let me just give you a very easy example. If you're trying to sell high-end, high-ticket offers, you need to show that you are high-end too, or else nobody's going to believe you.
Yes, exactly. So don't sit on the bed in your bedroom with messy laundry behind you, kind of thing.
Please don't. And the thing is, one thing is to be relatable and to be casual, if that's your brand persona, if that goes with your brand. But we are business owners and we have to look professional. You know, we need to show our clients that we are in charge. Again, it's a trust building tool. If we're just all over the place, nobody's going to trust us. You know, you can't say I'm a great business strategist and then be in a messy place, because the brain connection just doesn't, you know, they will say, my goodness, if her place is a mess, her business is a mess, I'm not working with her.
Yeah.
That's the brain connection that goes on.
Exactly. You're right. Wow, Melanie, thank you so much. And actually, I had to change my location because my backdrop job just changed, as I had to go and get my cable and stuff. So, but luckily I was cleaning up this morning, so
You're all good, Sabine.
But if you see some ideas in terms of
don't worry.
things that I could have on my shelves maybe behind me, you know, in terms of, because obviously my message is reach for greatness, so I could have something like this. And yeah. And Gia, what are you going to have? I mean, you're there, you're watching us, so make a commitment. She said, I don't have a good backdrop. I use a new.
Not yet, Gia. You will.
Eliminate distractions to start whilst I'm building my brand on video. I have some ideas for you, Gia. You could have some really seductive kind of pictures behind you. Know, some really lovely pictures, right?
Yes.
Why not? Like, she's a love and relationship coach, so
exactly.
Could you suggest?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, anything that shows connection, you know, her field of expertise. There's so many things you can do it, and it can be subtle. You know, you don't have to go crazy and I don't know, if you sell bananas, just show a great banana there. No, it's not about that. It's about being able for people to get in all that subtle information, but without it being too obvious, because people tend to get distracted with the too obvious. When something is too simple, the brain just doesn't bother because it's too simple. So you have to find the right balance. But in Gia's case, there's plenty of things you could do. I mean, even just playing with silhouettes and playing with your brand colors and, you know, telling a story with those visuals. Plenty of things you could do, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I look forward to seeing Gia's. I think we're going to have a bit of a competition. Melanie, you've got also a Facebook group. Please invite our viewers in. And I know you also have videos that sell system, which I'm going to post now. And, you know, of course, come back in and, you know, I know you're starting another project, but unfortunately we won't have time to talk about it in this show. However, I know I've got you on my next show sometime next week, so let's pick up on that next week, and make sure you know, hook up with Melanie if you've got any questions with regards to videos, how to create videos and backdrops and things like this. She will be able to help you out, no doubt.
Any question you have regarding video and confidence in video, just drop your questions here and I'll be happy to come back later and answer them. And yes, my free group is Videos That Sell, and that's what we're all about. We have trainings. There's actually a training going on right now on how to use calls to action on videos, because so often people don't use them. They forget to use them. And if you're not using them, you're missing out.
Videos for otherwise. Yeah, you've got to have a call to action. Definitely.
Exactly. Yes.
I've just posted the link, and of course you can also go in and post the link for your Facebook group, and I will see you again next week we talk a bit more about the other project that you've got on the go.
Brilliant.
Forward to that.
Thank you, Sabine.
Thank you for coming on, Melanie.
Thanks everyone for watching.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Last but not least, I'm going to talk to Ruby McGuire, who is an ace when it comes to podcasting. So we just talked about speaking. First, we had Leela coming on talking about speaking from stage. Now we just talked to Melanie, who was talking about videos that sell. And I think these are really, really important strategies in terms of how you can become visible as well. And last but not least, we're going to talk about podcasting and how to actually use podcasts, how to create podcast. I guess I don't really know much about it myself. I'm doing more or less the video, the sort of Facebook lives more or less. But maybe I can find out from Ruby how we can turn videos into podcasts and how we can actually repurpose content. I think that's always a really, really good idea. Ruby, how are you? Can you hear me? I got you here twice, Ruby. I'm not sure which one you're on now. Ruby? There we go. I've got you twice for some reason. I can't hear you. Are you connected? I can't hear you. Do you wanna? Are you also on your mobile? Because I got you twice now in the Zoom room, and I don't want to chuck you out because then I can't let you get back in again. If I remove you, then Zoom will say you've removed this person. This person's not allowed in anymore. So I better don't do that. So whilst Ruby is getting set up, I'll just do a little introduction in this case. So Ruby McGuire is the visibility diva, aka the queen of connection, works with service-based business owners, helping them to ditch their mindset monkeys and get connected, visible and profitable in their business. And she helps them come up with strategies to attract dreamy clients to grow their business and have a dream life. Let's see if Ruby's back. Not yet. She's here. So okay, Ruby, where are you? Okay, once Ruby is back, we'll talk about podcasts, but maybe I've got a question for those that are listening in right now. What is your most preferred media for getting visible? What are you using? Are you using social media? Are you on Facebook? Do you use posts? Do you do offline networking? What other things could we be doing? Let's just brainstorm a little bit in terms of how can we be super duper visible. Gia, Ruby, yes, Ruby, please, if you can join us again in Zoom and make sure you just turn on or join via audio, that sometimes does a trick. You're in the Zoom room and it says that it will let me in. Okay, let me just check if you're back. Ruby, are you back in? Can you hear me? And it says that it will let me in. Okay, let me just check if you're back. Can you hear something? Yes. Hi, Ruby. Ruby, are you back in?
Hello, I'm here.
Okay, you might just want to close down your online internet browser. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you
But
too.
you still got two.
Yeah, for some reason, I'm not sure why you've connected twice now.
So,
I can hear something, yes.
can you just get rid of the first
Hi, Ruby.
one? I've got you. I'm on twice, so I've got an echo.
Okay, you might just want to close down your online internet browser. I can't hear you again. Does it not work? You think it's to do with the internet? I already did a little introduction, Ruby, and you definitely would talk about podcasts, and of course we want to hear more what you do as a visibility diva and the queen of connection. Connection works with service-based business owners. You're helping them to ditch their mindset monkeys and get connected, visible, and profitable in their businesses. And I think this is super relevant because we all have this little monkey in our head that just sort of stops us from being visible, maybe because we want to be perfect, maybe because we think we've got nothing to share. So take it away, Ruby.
Absolutely. Hello, everybody. I'm Visibility Diva, aka Queen of Connections. So I'm really pleased to be with you today. Thank you for Sabine for having me. And I want to talk to you today about podcasting. There's so many ways that you can be visible, and this is sometimes the stumbling block for all of us because we're like, well, I don't know, where do I start? And I know for me, podcasting actually came about. My journey to podcasting was I was running, actually hosting my own Tele Summit a few years back, and somebody in the group, as part of the Tele Summit, we'd set up a Facebook group. Somebody in the group said, do any of the speakers have a podcast show? And I went, I haven't got a podcast show. I wonder if I could pull it off in a week. Why would you even try to pull off a podcast show in a week? I don't know. But that was the challenge I set to myself, and I managed it. I have to say, I was wheel spinning in and burning the candle at both ends, but I managed to pull it off in a week. So it is possible to do it quickly, but why would you want to do it in the first place? So there are so many reasons. First of all, it will grow your list. And I think one of the things we've been talking about video and speaking, and all of these things are going to raise your visibility. And they're all also things that really raise your credibility. So when people are looking to connect with you, they're going to connect with you a lot quicker in these different ways. So I will often have people come on to work with me, and they'll have read some blog posts, they'll have been in my group and maybe seen a couple of Facebook Lives, and then they'll say, I've been listening to your podcast show every week. And they'll say, I didn't really, I'd already made the decision to work with you. I just wanted to talk to you one-on-one just to be 100% sure. And they've already made their mind up, so it's actually helping them make the decision to buy from you. So it really does make a big difference. So you attract more paying clients as a result of hosting your own podcast show, and you're also establishing yourself as the go-to expert. Now, one of the things that we've talked about, the mindset monkeys and that kind of thing, and one of my mindset monkeys, and it just never seems to go away, and I just have to bat it back down and put it back in its box, is I hate the way I speak. I really hate the way I speak. But then I thought, I'm running my own business.
Your mind, because I don't hate the way you speak. I think you got a really good voice, and I've got the same thing going on in my head.
And I just thought to myself, well, if you met me in the corner shop, or you met me in a town centre, or you met me at a networking meeting, you're going to meet me sounding like this. So what's the point in me trying to be different and trying to be super polished when I come onto a podcast show? I can't let this hold me back in our business. So I just thought, bit the bullet and thought, right, I'm going to go with it. So there will be certain things that will trigger you, and that doesn't matter what type of visibility you're doing, there's always going to be some little mindset monkey giving it this in the background, and you have to squash it. So the beauty of a podcast show is it's great free content. It allows you to showcase your expertise. People can listen anytime they want to. They can listen on the go. It's not dependent on you being there. A bit like Netflix, they might go for a bit of a binge. I have lots of people doing binge podcast listening, which is brilliant. And it allows you to repurpose your content, but it also will help you to connect on a deeper level. So you can do guest interviews, you're going to build a lot better connections as a result of doing it, but you can where you were saying about video, you could repurpose a video into a podcast. So, for example, I've done a lot of Facebook Lives where I've done an intro and an outro at the beginning and the end of the podcast, so intro, outro, and it will just say, we're going to jump into a Facebook Live that I've done, and then you come out there and I hope you enjoyed this Facebook Live today. So you can literally piece a bit at the beginning and a bit at the end, and you can then turn that into more content. And you can even get a transcript. You can, depending how you record your podcast, you can do a transcript and then have that as a blog post, which could then also be the video. So there's lots of different ways that you can repurpose it. But the beauty is people will feel like they've got a really good connection with you.
Oh, brilliant. By the way, your picture is unfortunately frozen. So if anyone's sort of watching and thinks, you know, why is Ruby's picture frozen? It seems like it's a weak internet connection, but it doesn't matter. We still have you on the sound. So I could turn that actually into a podcast, I guess, this interview. You're giving me some good ideas. Yes, because yeah, you could just
absolutely
sort of listen to it like whilst you're maybe in a train or you're driving a car. I guess you don't literally need like a video, you know, all the time, right?
No, one of my clients, she made me laugh because she said, I take you to bed with me every night. And I said, what? So she said, well, I listen to you when I go to bed. And even my husband says, are you listening to Ruby? I'm listening to you.
Yes, exactly. Sorry, Ruby, you're breaking up again, sound-wise. Can you just tell us what you've created? I mean, you've got an amazing array of podcasts, and you know, I see that it's really great because you've got these bite-sized chunks, so it's not like an hour to listen to, because that would be like, oh my gosh, I haven't got an hour to listen to something, you know. And it seems like you can create something really quick and easy and digestible.
Tell you what, sorry. Yeah, so for me.
Yes, so you're creating digestible content. That's what I'm saying is that.
Yeah, so for me. Yeah, so for me, I didn't want to do hour-long episodes. I will do interviews with people and then they'll turn into a podcast. But for me, I didn't want to do hour-long episodes. I wanted to make it that someone can listen to it, get a hit of inspiration, and then go about their business. I like my podcast to be, and my blog post to be inspiring, thought-provoking, and to challenge people to take some action. They're kind of my three things that are underpinning all of my podcasts. So, you know, I sort of look at a podcast now and I see it as an hour and I think, oh, do you know, I don't think I've got an hour, and I hate the fact that I can't finish it. I'm a finisher and it really stresses me out if I haven't got time to finish it. It's like, well, I'm not going to do that then. So I thought, well, I'll create them in bite-sized format so people can check in, and then probably none of them are more than 6-7 minutes. Brilliant. Unless they're a longer interview or a training or something.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it doesn't need to take
a good idea, especially as people are really busy, isn't it? I mean, if they want to listen to 2 or 3 episodes, if they've got more time, but otherwise, it's quick and easy.
Definitely.
So, what would you say? How can one start off? I mean, what sort of equipment do you need, and where do you host your podcast? How can you get visibility through a podcast?
Okay. So, in terms of equipment, I'll talk to you about the equipment, but I also want to talk to you about something that's more important than the equipment before you even do anything. But first of all, let's go for the equipment. So I started using my iPhone, and then I just saved that into and uploaded it as an MP3. So this is where people might glaze over because there's technology involved, but you only need basic recording equipment to get started. You can do it on your PC, you can do it on your Mac, depending on what you've got. You might want a headset to block out the noise, and you may want to invest in a mic longer term, but I didn't. I literally just started off using my phone and using my MacBook. Okay, so if you're going to do, I don't know if you can see, but I've got a Blue Yeti mic, so I will use my Blue Yeti mic when I'm doing my recording. And for me, I actually record via Zoom now. or I record via GarageBand. But another one that you can use is an app called Audacity. Now, I know when I first looked at Audacity, what Audacity is doing is it's piecing together. It looks like, you know, when you're watching a crime show and they're showing you the voice recording and you've got all the sound kind of going across, the sound file going across.
Right.
I remember when I first went into Audacity, I thought, I have no idea what is going on here. What is this weird stuff in front of me? I'm never going to understand this. And then I realised all it is just like a file, but instead of it being text on a document, like a Word document on pages, it's just text on a screen, but it shows in the way of a sound. So all you're doing is you will record an intro, you'll then record an outro, and then that will just stay the same all the time. And then you'll have the little elements in the middle of whatever the podcast is that you want to talk about. What you really need to do, though, aside from the equipment, so you need to play around with the equipment. There's no simple, well, you know, step by step, I could take you through step by step. I don't do that. I don't enjoy teaching people the techie stuff, because usually they'll have something different going on their end, and I'm saying, oh my goodness, it's fine this end, I don't get it. Why is it not working? So I don't go into all of that, but all you need to know is it is really simple, and you can make it very simple. There's loads of different apps that you can use on your phone. One that I like, and I'll get it up while I'm talking to you actually, in terms of video, is a little one that Clip and Trim or something like that, I think it's called. So bear with me, I'll find that as we're talking.
Yeah, I think
use that for my videos.
Okay.
Trim and
that will be interesting, because there's so many different things you can get and paid versions, and it's just a question of what do you need really to get started.
Trim and cut. Absolutely. And for me, I love and worry about polished performances, because that's not the point. The point is you're getting your message out there. And if people don't like it because it's not perfect, or you say, I mean, I'm always saying so, and honest, my husband says so, etc., etc. I'm always saying it. And I just thought, you know what, it just doesn't matter. If people don't like that,
yeah,
they're not your dreamy clients. So they don't like it, then don't worry. But the point is, yes, you can spend forever and a day perfecting it, and over time your message will get clearer and you will get more confident with video. But just start where you are and just get brave. And one way to start getting brave with the podcast, the same in terms of the video and the podcast. With your podcast, just record one or record a few and get them on there, and then as you develop. If I went back to my first one, I dread to think what I've been saying in my first one. I'm probably a lot more confident now. I just chat much more natural. The first one was probably, oh goodness, this is my podcast, you know. It's scary stuff. We have to push through that, and I get
first one
because I'm an introvert.
Where you are now, right? So everyone has to start somewhere.
Absolutely, I think.
Yeah. And it's good to know that we're kind of,
say
you've improved, right? It's good to know that you say,
yeah, absolutely, and you just get more confident. But the bigger thing here, before you even contemplate doing a podcast show, is you need to understand who it's for, how you help. So you've got to have that whole, who are my dreamy clients? How do I want to attract them? What's the main message that I want to share to attract them? And you also want to do some podcast research. So don't just do a podcast. If you're going to do a podcast, it's going to take you time. It's going to take effort. It's going to be like another marketing strategy that you've got to do to grow that. So you really want to be invested in the process. You don't just do it and think, oh, well, I'll do one and then never go back to it. And also, I wouldn't overcommit yourself either. I wouldn't be thinking, well, let's do one every day. A bit like Melanie was saying, 30 days and this kind of thing. It's fine once, but after that you will be exhausted, and trying to come up with new content ideas will just be really, really tough. So I would say to you, just focus on, think about, if I did one podcast a month to start with, at least you're doing one podcast a month. I do it once a week, and that takes time. But you can then, once you get into a pattern, you can start batch recording and all of those kind of things. So you can speed up that process. But what you want to do is do some podcast research. You want to note what kind of podcast shows really capture your attention. Whose podcast shows do you like? Why do you like them? What is it that you're drawn to in them? Maybe you want to do an hour show and you like the fact that you can really dig deep into a topic with somebody. When you're listening to shows, that's what works for you. Maybe it's more like mine, where you just think, do you know what, I've got some information I want to share. I know people are time pressured. I don't want to go that deep. I just want to give people a hit of inspiration, as I call it. So think about what you like and what you dislike about some of the shows. But get a handful of shows that you enjoy and start to notice, how are people doing the lead-ins? How are they doing out? Are they advertising on those shows? What is it specifically that they do that you like or even don't like? Because that will be a useful guide for you. So there'll be practical things that you'll need to do. You'll need to think about what your strategy is, how you're going to share. Sorry, go on.
I just wanted to ask you about the intros and the outros. How do you get that? How do you produce that? Or have you asked?
So what you have, okay. So what you can do is, there's lots of different websites that you can go on to. One that I use is audiojungle.net, and that will give you some music. So you know, like you have a radio jingle, there's a little bit of music in the background. For those who are listening, if you listen to my podcast show, you'll see what I mean. So I'll have a little bit of background music going on, and then I'll have an introduction saying, hi, I'm Ruby, etc. So what you would do is you would find your piece of music.
Is it Audio Jungle?
Audiojungle.com.
Okay, let me just capture
jungle, as in monkey swinging through a jungle.
Audiojungle.com. Okay, I'll just put that in the comments. Thanks.
.net. No,
.net. Yeah, okay, found it.
So what you will do is you will find your piece of music, and that's one element of a file, and then you overlay your soundtrack over the top of it. Now, you may want somebody to help you with this when you first start out, until you can understand it. I work with different podcast editors. You can go on to Fiverr and get somebody to edit a podcast for you for $5. So it's probably best, if you're just starting out and you're not completely techie minded, get someone else to support you. That's what I did with mine. Yeah. So what you would do is you would have then your intro with your music going over it. You then have your podcast, and you would record that. So you would record a sound track on your phone that would then convert it into an MP3, and you can record in Audacity, so you can use that as your recording platform. Again, I'm not going to go into the technical side, because that's the separate thing. I want to talk about the content, because that's really where I focus on with my clients. I hope that's helpful just to get you started.
Thank you.
What you then need to think about is consistency. So it's very much like any marketing strategy, you want to make sure you're being consistent. So don't just show up once and never turn up again. You want to make sure that, okay, you're committing to something and you're doing it. And I know that one business owner I know, she was doing the podcast daily, and she ended up really seriously burnt out as a result of doing it. So just be very realistic. What can you realistically keep up with? It's better to do one a month and show up and not stress yourself out, because that energy is going to come across in your show if you're panicking every time you've got to do a podcast. Yeah. So you want to brainstorm some podcast show ideas. You want to think about what kind of what encapsulates, and that's where your research is going to really come into its own. Once you know what your clients like, you can call it. Mine's the same as my Facebook groups. My Facebook group's Rock Your Fabulous Biz. My podcast is Rock Your Fabulous Biz. My business name is Rock Your Fabulous Biz, and then I've got programs underneath it. So it made sense to keep all of those in line with each other. Mine's very much an umbrella program, so I don't always talk about visibility per se. I talk about mindset, I talk about business, I talk about visibility. So it's an umbrella, but all of those things feed into each other. So think about whether you've got an umbrella where certain elements would fit into each other. So for example, if you were doing visibility, I might talk about blogging one week, I might talk about Facebook Lives another week, I might talk about mindset another week, procrastination another week. So there'll be all sorts of different elements, but they all do feed into that umbrella of all of these things are going to help you to be more visible and grow your business. Yeah.
Brilliant. And
so you want your I've got so much to say.
I know we're out of time, unfortunately, but I want to post your website, and I'm sure people really need to go and check out Ruby's podcast. I'm sure it means so much value. Where is your podcast? I've seen it on iTunes. Are there? I mean, is this the best place to go to?
Yeah. So you've got iTunes, and you've got another one called Stitcher. So you use a platform called Libsyn, because you asked that at the beginning, didn't you? Libsyn, Libsyn. Now, so a bit like how you host your website, you have a hosting platform for your podcast. So your podcast goes onto there, and then it gets Libsyn, Libsyn. It goes onto those platforms, and then it will get sent out to the, people will be able to pick up on that link. So Android users would use Stitcher mostly, and then iTunes, obviously you've got iTunes for the iPhone side of it. Stitcher. And then what you can do is you can share your links on that. It's Stitcher.
Stitcher. Okay, I hope I got that correct. I'll just put it in the comments. Brilliant. And then just it's about go and share your podcasts, I guess, on social media. Links to
share it in your newsletters, share it everywhere. Yeah, anywhere you can think of, share it.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Ruby. Now, Ruby, your website's rubymcguire.com, and you have a free visibility quiz. Can you talk us through that very briefly? And
I do.
Posting the information into Facebook.
Yeah, so the visibility quiz is basically where you learn what level of visibility you're at right now. So you're either going to be a lady, countess, princess, or queen, or you can be the male equivalent. So you can be a lord, count, prince, or king, depending what you want to do. You can call it whatever you like. The point is, it's just helping you understand where you are right now and where you can be, and gives you ideas on how to take your visibility to the next level. So it doesn't matter where you are. And actually, if you come out as a lady, which is the first one of the 4 categories, if you come out as that, actually it just means that you are going to progress much faster, because there's lots of different quick wins that you can do early on in your visibility journey. And then as you get further into your visibility journey, it just means that you have to push through more comfort zones. One of those, being queen, would be doing podcasting. So that would be taking it to that whole new level of really raising your visibility, credibility. Speaking would be another one of those, etc. So it really helps you identify where you're at. It's fun because it gives you something to work to. Then you say, "Oh, I'm a lady. I want to be a countess now. So what do I need to do to become a countess?" And you can keep checking in on how well you're doing with your visibility as well. So it's just a fun tool to. It's not the psychology behind it. It's just a fun way of you figuring out how well you're doing with your visibility.
Brilliant. I shall be taking that. Definitely, I am gonna look into podcasting myself as well. Thank you so much, Ruby, for coming on the show.
Sorry, I was just going to share that. The podcasting. This is one of my modules in my Rock Your Visibility program, which goes through all of the in-depth detail of this. So I've obviously only given you a few snippets based on the time we've got. So.
Yes, thank you so much. Unfortunately, we're out of time, and sorry for the interruption. I think we had some technical issues today, but I think it was fabulous to have these 3 experts. Thank you so much, Ruby, for coming on, and we'll speak soon.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yes, brilliant.
Take care. Thank you for having me.
Take care. Thank you so much to my 3 guests today.
Hi, everyone.
Another episode of the Reach for Greatness TV and the Visibility Summit. So we talked about speaking from stage with Leela Bassi. We talked about videos that sell with Melanie Falvey. And then last but not least was our amazing Ruby McGuire, who is a podcast expert. So if you've missed any of these, please come back, watch the replay. If you'd like to know more about how to work with me or connect with me, I actually run the Greatness Club, which was my pride and joy. I love teaching women entrepreneurs growing their business, starting their businesses as well. We also do monthly speed networking events, which are part of the club. We're going to have our next one on the 19th of December. Again, please contact me if you'd like to come along. And one of my big campaigns coming up in December is going to be the 21 days to Christmas and to greatness. And I'm looking for 100 amazing entrepreneurial women that want to actually star on my shows, because I'm going to be doing 21 days of Facebook Live in style of interviews. So if you'd like to come along, please just message me and I'll send you the link where you can book yourself on. And yeah, if you'd like to come on to the Greatness Club as well and learn and get support in your business, every month we actually do something different. This month is all about visibility. Last month it was branding. And of course, in December, we're going to do a huge goal setting exercise where you're going to get a workshop, a workbook, an expert Q&A. And of course, it's all about implementing your strategy and thinking about 2019 and how to actually start the year with a big bang in 2019. So that's going to await you in the Greatness Club. The link is in the description. You have an opportunity to come in for free for 14 days, which is a free trial for the first 14 days. And then thereafter it will be £37, which is absolutely a no-brainer. I mean, the amount of support, the amount of training that you get for this little investment is just incredible. And I always make sure these trainings are in really nice bite-sized chunks so that nobody is actually getting overwhelmed, because it's about implementing one piece in your business, one piece a month, and making sure that actually that's it, that you get actually feedback from us as well in the group. And it's not just like a one-way communication. We really love to hear what you do. You have the opportunity to post in the group, get feedback, maybe some new ideas as well. And of course, we want you to connect in person. That's why we do our monthly speed networking events, where you come on a Zoom call with me as well, and you can share what you do and collaborate with other women in the group. And really network face to face. So that's the Greatness Club, and I'm super excited to what's going to come next. So I love you and I leave you, and hopefully I'll see you again soon, one of the next Reach for Greatness TVs. Lots of love. This is Sabine Matharu signing out. Bye.